What's up? Happy Michigan are the champions of the Big Ten. Monday. Chirpa, Bubba. How you doing? SO7 Alls. Hi. Well, hello. First time viewers, always welcome. JP that guy, or first time chatters, he might have been viewing before. Tried a new open today. Let people kind of filter in a little bit differently. Leo, how you doing? Nibbler. Nibbler? Whatever. Yeah, I have no idea why price stops where it did today. It's pretty weird. Variant, how are you? Good morning or afternoon. Shit, it's 1 o'clock where I am. Gotta get my head right. PM 7 hour like Eastern Europe. Adastra, let's go, man. Yeah, Big Ten champs, that was sick. Yeah, Kaz and I met up in person at the Big Ten championship. Pretty cool. Grabbed a beer at halftime. Yeah, it was an ass beating. I was embarrassed for Iowa, like legit embarrassed. I was embarrassed for Iowa. That was like, it was pretty damn bad. By the way, I think you guys might have heard me say this. I think I said it in the chat room, but I literally was in the middle, like the legit middle of the Iowa student section, or the Iowa fan section. So it was like me, I was in the front row, middle of their fan section, like of their alumni fan section too, no less. So that was fun. NNN, what's up? Berlinks. First time chatter. How are you? I think it's a little bit larger. How you guys feeling? Nervous? Feeling good? Most people are pretty damn nervous. John, how are you? Poor? I asked if you were nervous, and Chirper just said, no, I'm not nervous, I'm just poor. All right, that also works. It will, MM Bobo says somewhat nervous. Yeah. Reasonable. So I think it's okay to be nervous. I mean, obviously we're down. There's just like a heavy dose of like you just need to take a step back. JP says, scared money don't make none. Yeah, scared money don't make money. It's a common axiom. It's true. I think we have yet heard who bought the dip. I don't know what you're saying there, but we're going to talk through a few different things that I essentially am streaming today for like two reasons. One, to hopefully add a piece of perspective, and then we can, talk about plans on how to enter and exit the market. 50-50, chilling with stops. That's good. I do have like a really, really, really crazy bull case to be made for Ethereum that I'm going to make, even now. So hopefully that will make people less fearful and nervous. But So Chirpa says, how am I feeling? I'm feeling better. Just like if you look at my ticker screen over here, that's a lot of alts getting absolutely demolished. Yeah, so Leo says Ethereum saving the market. He's right. Oh, Zook says, I think someone bought the dip and will soon announce it. Yeah, I was watching Ledger and Don and Josh this morning on the Weekly Open, which I don't usually do. But I was like, yeah, I'll tune in and see what they say. Ledger made a pretty compelling case for this to have been like an orchestrated dump during times of low liquidity, which I hadn't really thought about. Yeah, light crypto finally turns bull. It's pretty wild, man. That light now turns bull. But, Ledger made a pretty interesting point about essentially the evidence piles up about this stuff being, like this one specifically being like a manipulated crash. It was Friday, after market hours. There were some huge options activity. There was perp activity, and then there was spot activity, and it looks like it was all coordinated by like the same whale to try to start that liquidation cascade. And it's pretty rare to be able to do that. And like they talked about it on their stream about how, and Alameda essentially said that's what they were doing too. So I don't believe it was Alameda who necessarily pushed it over the top. It's possible. Sam Trabuca. It is definitely possible that it was him or them doing that. Yeah, they said it was Deribit. They kind of just turned everything quickly. And then like once that cascade starts, it's the same reason why March happened, guys. Like as a percentage, let's see if I can actually do this. So there's May, right? Go back. I guess I could have just gone this way. So like this dump down to like $89, $88 this whole day for Ethereum and for will this stay here? No, it will. No, it won't. For Ethereum and for Bitcoin, essentially once that cascade starts, there's nobody, like every exchange has different liquidity, and when they're all kind of oracled together, they can really screw things up. So once the liquidation cascade starts, man, like there's no $1 trillion bid that's going to stop it. And even if it were, it wouldn't stop on every exchange. Like somebody got to like 38K. Somebody got to 38K on Bitcoin, which means that for a moment, ETH BTC was over 0.1. Because it licked down a lot further on Bitcoin, which is crazy. But I'm going to do a couple of things really quick that I think are pretty relevant. Not that chart. This one. Somebody made the point, I think it was... Who was it? KuCoin liquidity evaporated during it. Link went to zero, basically, right where it belongs. Yeah. Somebody just said that like Ethereum has been the one who's put the market on its back during this downtime. No, Kaz, we're not going to die. We're not going to die. And the funny part is like, you can even extend this back even further. Okay, this is before. Okay. This trend of Ethereum leading the market goes back to the fall of 2019. Berlinks, I think that ETH 10, I'm about to give you a crazy bullish prediction on Ethereum. So I think that the ETH 10K call buyer is strategic. I don't know if 10K is necessarily it, but just remember what options do, right? When you put that level of option activity on chain or where people can see it, it draws price toward it. And so, yeah, it could be out of the money hedge. It could just be a magnet that people are going to play to and kind of hedge against. And so that person can build a long position while price is drawn to it, and then close out, right? And get a better position in spot than on the option chain. So those are varied strategies. But let's start here at ETHBTC, because Ethereum is absolutely doing the heavy lifting, and I would argue has been doing the heavy lifting since September of 2019. Now, some of you may have seen my discourse back and forth with the CEO of Stack, Joel Birch, yesterday about Bitcoin and Ethereum, about Wix being filled or whatever. And he and I have kind of gone back and forth because he's still of the habit or of the opinion that Bitcoin drives everything, which typically it has. Okay, he's been in crypto a lot longer than I have, and obviously his company just raised $35 million to do some pretty crazy stuff. Which, if you have not seen that press release, go read it. Stack, the sponsor of this stream, is going to do some unbelievable things in the next quarter, in the next half a year, in the next year, in the next 2 years, 5 years. It's very well possible that you will look at stackedinvest.com, and it'll be the place where you send like your uncles and your aunts and your parents and like your siblings who want to get into crypto but don't want to put the time in. Like, Stacked is building the product where you can just like, I'm going to deposit $100 in my paycheck every week and I don't have to think about it. That's what they're building. They just got their RIA license. I mean, so much where they can actually custody your crypto and make trades on your behalf without you having to be an accredited investor. It's crazy. So Stack's going to crush it. Anyway, my side. Joel and I got into a conversation yesterday on Twitter that then moved to text and Telegram, where it was like, which does which, what came first, the chicken or the egg? And my contention has been that Ethereum has been leading this market. In fact, this entire bull run, this entire bull market has actually been on the strength of Ethereum and the developments being made on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Okay. And so Bitcoin has kind of been in the bitch seat, just riding along, right? The whole way. And I'm trying to find part of our conversation. But if Ethereum really has been leading, and you see this sort of structure since before the March crash, okay? So this is what I'm trying to say. The March crash happened, Bitcoin went to 3,800 and Ethereum went to $89 or $80, depending on what you look at. And you see the higher lows started before that, started in December. And then we got a higher low in March, a higher low in May, and then it kept moving. Okay? John, I will kick you out. And so you see this series of higher highs and higher lows, and it's getting looser at the top. Like, you're really seeing this start to play out and break out. But I mean, we're essentially at this area where we're so close to a breakout to 10. I mean, look at this, guys. Look at this right here, right now. We are, I don't even know what the Sats version of Ethers, whatever it is. We're 700 away from a breakout, like a pure breakout of ETHBTC, which is crazy. So yeah, there's a decent chance, a strong chance, I don't know, that I'll look back at this video and be like, Jared, you idiot. You were the guy who was saying that Bitcoin wasn't shit anymore and Ethereum was the new king. But you know what? It's what I'm saying. And so from my perspective, from a macro view, I am way more concerned with what Ethereum is doing versus what Bitcoin is doing. And yeah, blasphemy, blah, 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 blah. But look, if the trend has been going in the favor of Ethereum versus Bitcoin before this run started, it was already happening. And then the run did happen, and it just been further illustrated on the chart, right? Like, it just keeps getting higher highs, higher lows. And the part that I bring up, I talked about this with a buddy the other day, and he said, "Nah, dude, come on, Bitcoin's king." And I said, "Well, let's say that Bitcoin is digital gold." And he's like, "Yeah, bro, Bitcoin digital gold. It's got a market cap of $10 trillion, or gold does, and Bitcoin's not even 1 trillion. That's the move, bro." And I go, "Okay, let's assume that Bitcoin is the play." Right? Let's assume Bitcoin is going to go from 1 trillion to $10 trillion, and that's its mountaintop, right? Dude, it's a 10x from where we are right now. Everybody be fucking happy about that. And I said, okay, so you have Bitcoin, which is digital gold. Ethereum's disrupting traditional finance, insurance, and privacy, disrupting whole markets. But Bitcoin is digital gold. Ethereum is disrupting gaming, betting, healthcare, savings. But Bitcoin is digital gold. Ethereum is disrupting art, collectibles, trading cards, music. But yeah, Bitcoin is digital gold. So really, who has the larger upside here? And he was like, all right, man, fine, I get it. Like, Ethereum's disrupting more shit. And I'm like, yeah. And people are starting to see that. That there's a larger run, that there's a larger scale to move up on Ethereum for what Ethereum's doing, all the markets they're attempting to take down, right? Now, yeah, I see people, preach, whatever. And like, I'm not a maxi of anything, okay? I could change my view on this overnight if I saw compelling evidence. And, oh, you're a flip-flopper. Nope. For the information that I have right now, I think Ethereum is the better play. It has been the better play. It's going to disrupt the most. And it's what has been driving the markets. And this chart shows it, guys. This is a fucking weekly chart. Okay, it's a weekly chart. We've had a series of higher highs and higher lows on a weekly chart on Ethereum going back to the fall of 2019. We're about to roll into 2022. And you're still telling me Bitcoin is the king and everything should kowtow to the fucking Bitcoin maxis? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now, have I played Bitcoin over Ethereum during this run? Absolutely. That's what my whole fund is based on. If I see like a crazy rejection here, I'll switch my collateral to Bitcoin. But that doesn't mean that I think that Bitcoin is now better than Ethereum, right? It's not. Could Solana start doing shit and find ways to tap in liquidity that I did not see yet? And then I changed my thesis to being more concerned with this chart instead of Ethereum? Yes, that is possible. But right now, I'm telling you, there is no better play. And so when you look at the chart and when you look at what's happening, I'm going to show you both charts and I'm going to show you Bitcoin. I'm going to show you Ethereum. Okay? Let's start with Bitcoin. It's a 3-day chart. I mean, we can do weekly too. It doesn't really matter. So we got this double top, obviously. Put in our lows, we caught this bottom, higher high, higher low, higher high, and now we've retraced down to this support area. On the daily, it looks way more sloppy. It looks far worse. And it's just looked like shit. It's looked like shit since we called it on November 11th that it was going to be shit, and it's been bad ever since. And there's just a lot of erratic moves, okay? Like, you don't see like a... So where's real support here? When you look at this, you could make a case for like a downward trend line here. To go, all right, it hits DTL, but first off, you guys know if you listen to me at all that I'm all about horizontal support and resistance. So the fact that we actually did wick down to essentially 40,000 in a lot of cases, and then the next closest area of support prior to that would have been here, right? So like 52.8. 52A kind of makes sense, but like it doesn't look that clean. It doesn't look that clear to me, right? Now look at this chart, okay? You have two pivot flips on matching levels, which you did not have on Bitcoin. Let's just open them both up so I can quickly flip back and forth. I'll do that. No, I don't want that. Okay. So you can see like which one of these charts looks more constructive to you. One pivot, two pivots, breakout, come down, and we didn't lose the pivot breakouts. That would, if Bitcoin were just on level par with Ethereum, we would be retesting this level at 63 right now, not down here at 48, 49, 43, 42. Okay? The relative strength is clear. It's a much more clear area to build a defense of and to say, fuck man, even the chart looks cleaner. So a lot of people are looking at Bitcoin charts and saying, you know what, man, I don't know. It looks so sloppy. There's no, where do you put bids? You know, you're trying to find out where the king is going to find support and where the bid's going to come in and all this other fucking happy horse shit that you're like, okay, well, the thing is, guys, you actually are not even looking at the right chart to see who's driving the market, okay? So again, we did the exercise before. I'm going to delete this because I think I made my point. Even this level, okay, pre-breakout, at the start of the year where everything went bananas, where essentially Ethereum broke out from 2,000 and went to, what was that, 4,400? I forget exactly. Yeah, 4,400. It came down and it held the level that it had broken out from beautifully. Okay, and it was when Ethereum got to this previously broken out level that the market turned around, guys. Like, broke out, came up, fucked around, everybody's sad and crazy, doesn't know what to say. And then you see this nice double bottom on previous resistance, now flipped to support, and hey, the market took off. Okay. You didn't really get that here? It wasn't the breakout that did it. Like, it did hold. But the breakout for Bitcoin was here. That's where it broke out from. The support level was here. So it got all the way down to its support where Ethereum held the level. Ethereum held the level. Bitcoin, that motherfucker almost cracked. It almost cracked. And Ethereum, it didn't. So the entire time, market structure has looked cleaner. Price action has behaved better. When they talk about Mt. Gox refunds, they're not talking about Ethereum, they're talking about Bitcoin. When they're talking about dormant wallets or people that woke up from a coma and now have $100 million in their wallet that had been dormant for 10 years, they're not talking about Ethereum, they're talking about Bitcoin. Right? There's all sorts of this different shit that happens on Bitcoin that's like, you know, yeah, is it digital gold? Yes. Is fiat garbage? Yes. It is, okay? But is it what's driving this? And my contention would be absolutely not. NFTs are on Ethereum. DeFi is on Ethereum. Gaming on Ethereum. All the roll-ups are technically still on Ethereum, right? They're just roll-ups to Ethereum. So the narrative is in there. I say all of this, guys, to essentially put a bow on the idea that everyone looks at Bitcoin and says, Bitcoin is the king and the driver of everything. And when you say that without a compelling case to be made as to why, because have you seen anybody lay that shit out as to why Bitcoin's driving the marketplace? Bitcoin's driving the marketplace because inflation, bro. COVID, bro. That's what it was, bro. I don't think so. I really don't think so. Yeah, I mean, and look, I'm even kind of, if you go back in my previous streams, there were times where I was like completely along that same narrative. But like the more that I actually look and think about the impact that like fucking NBA Top Shots, NFTs on Ethereum, okay? And like all sorts of other things that are going to be happening. Tickets are going to be NFTs on Ethereum to like events, sporting events, concerts, whatever it may be. Okay, there's going to be all this a different industry coming into Ethereum and making it absolutely blow up. Not to mention, Ethereum's only like not even. It's more than half of Bitcoin's market cap right now. More than half. It's not like we're talking about the days where it was a 10x and people were like, "Oh, we're gonna 10x, bro." Like, no, it's put in a lot of work. It's put in a lot of work. So when you're looking at this, please make sure you look at every chart. Okay, don't just look at Ethereum. Don't just look at Bitcoin. Look at Ethereum, Bitcoin. So ETH BTC. Look at the S&P 500. Look at everything. Yeah, ETH 2.0. Like, yeah. So John says ETH 2.0 is also a big narrative. I think it is. And I guess whatever narrative you pick, it doesn't really matter. The point is there are several disruption narratives or other things that you could point to on Ethereum. What is the narrative for Bitcoin? The narrative is government is a bunch of fucking crooks and fiat is garbage and buy Bitcoin, the US dollar is trash. All right. All right. Like, what's the other narrative? The Lightning Network, bro. It's going to be amazing. All right. Here's my outrageous, even outrageous by my standards. And what I'm about to tell you. Prediction for Ethereum. This has been I'm going to start referring to it as the Parabolic flip line because that's really what it is. It acts as resistance, but really it's the Parabolic flip line. What's up, Careless? This is the Parabolic flip line for Ethereum. This is essentially what Bitcoin had, what Solana had before it had its crazy run. Top here to the top in May, and oh my God, look. This little touch above, this little bit is what marked the top of the marketplace, okay? Right here. It wicked above, okay? Did wick above, wicked above, and shot back down. And that's kind of where we've had weakness ever since. And it was right on that line, guys. Right on that line. I think it is very possible, one, that we range, and that we range from right here where we are. So like this range low to range high. This is the area to look at. This is the area that I'm going to be paying attention to. Would you say 4K is a buy? Yeah, so I have not seen a reversal trigger I like yet, and I'll get into lower time frames in a moment. But motherfucking ads. I'll give it a second here. And then we'll get going. Nice chair. Thanks, man. Yeah, like you can see it. C Sully or CS Sully. I don't know. What's up, man? Let me know when you guys are back from ads. I actually went in to try to disable ads altogether because I didn't have them forever, and now I do. I don't care about ad revenue, so I really just like to disable it. So if anybody knows how to do that, DM me. Ad break over. All right. Thank you for telling me, On-Chain Gang and Chirpa Kerper. You can't disable ad? I can't? Really? Fuck. All right. Well, maybe we just moved to YouTube. But this, if I'm not wrong, you can't. Damn, that sucks, man. This is the area that matters, right? Like anything under like 4,000 to 3,900 is range low. So that's range low. Any sort of like rip in between there isn't necessarily a buy when it goes below. Like sometimes we'll find triggers of reversals, and I've called those out before. And so we'll certainly have that. But anytime it drops below this level and then there's any sort of like recovery, like the level being regained, it's essentially putting in a double bottom of sorts, and it would be like, you know, you long upon recapturing the range low, which is 3930 or even 4,000 if it gets that close. So there's a way you can play it that way. I have no problem with that strategy. And likewise, if we got up here and did this, I would short on range failure, range high failure break. Like I literally would. But the bull case is us breaking this, okay? And it could get stupid, guys. I don't even like to necessarily put targets behind this shit, because you're gonna be like, this fucking guy, all right? But if we can actually take this parabolic line level, the parabolic line, and not only break it, but flip it to support, you will see a price move on Ethereum that you see on like low cap alts. Okay, mid cap alts. So that would be something like that. Now, notice this is a daily chart, and this is a break up, come back down, and defend the level. Okay? In that scenario where you actually see the level defended, that is when you go, oh my God, they see it. Demand is that high. This thing is going to go bananas. And that is where you actually start to see this pattern play out, okay? So again, this is the start of a parabolic move. People always ask me, where do you think we are in the market? And I don't think we're at the end of it. Because parabolas don't end mid-parabola. They do this, okay? And then they break down. They don't stop here, typically. But like, this line is not an exaggeration about what you might be able to see. This is not an exaggeration. This shit could go. If we can flip this, you will see the parabola played out. And here's the other thing, just like for full disclosure. So later on, you're like, Jared, I was up in paper profits and then I lost it all. What happened? The parabola, the parabolic breakout, happens at the end of markets. It happens at the end of markets. You don't see parabolas at the start of a market. You see it at the end. And so while we still have this intact, and while this parabolic flip line is here, while we're still holding the most key level, my brain says protect yourself, which I haven't. Look, I'm in cash primarily right now. I think I have like a couple $100,000 in Ethereum. That's it. And everything else is in cash. That's just how I'm choosing to play this right now. And like, it may run away from me, and I'm okay with that. That's me protecting myself. But if you come down here, protect yourself, regain, you can get involved, play it to the top, doesn't work, and then you play that breakout. Like, this is what people will look back on if this ends up coming true. If we actually get the parabolic line flip and we get a move to all-time highs, like I think is very, very possible, it'll be the type of shit that literally makes millionaires out of five-figure portfolio holders right now. That's how crazy this will be. So no, I'm not willing to get bearish. The driver has been Ethereum the whole time. I didn't realize I had my notes up there. Sorry, hold on. There we go. The driver has been Ethereum this whole time, and the two pivots which we broke out of from May and from September are holding. So I will also say that, so I made the point, the market that will make that'll make millionaires out of five-figure portfolios isn't on Ethereum. Like, you're like, yeah, okay, if I have a five-figure portfolio and it goes from 5,000 to 10,000, I still only have $100,000. Like, okay, yeah. But do you guys understand what would happen to alts on the way too? That's, yeah, so has. There you go. Has got there as I was saying it. So it's not like just because, well, Ethereum went from 5,000 to 10,000. Like if I had 10 grand, I only got 20 grand now. Like, woo. It's not what I mean. Like what would happen for the entire market and the retail FOMO and the crazy shit that would happen? It would be like what happened in 2017, where you hear these guys talk about it all the time. Like Dragon Chain went from, did a kajillion X. All sorts of other crazy stuff happens. Like they run up, dude. It will be insane. Literal insanity. Yeah, fuck Dragon Chain. Yeah. So you will not be able to shake me on my bullish thesis until I see two things. I need this line to fail. I need this line to fail. At 39.30. I need 39.30 to fail. And I need this horizontal to fail. Essentially this trend line. Until that happens, nothing has changed for me. Nothing. John says, do you think it's concerning it's already retested 39.30 so many times? It's retested it twice. I don't count the wick down. I really don't. Here, the other day, and then today. Maybe 3. But, again, I think this was orchestrated. This was a liquidation cascade. When you see liquidation cascades through key levels and a snap back, that's just more like a function of what was happening in the market at the time. At the time. So I don't really see it yet. No. I've been waiting for a reason to get long again, and I don't really have one. This might be it though. So I said I'd go to lower time frames. People ask me all the time about triggers, and this is a trigger on a high time frame, so it's not great. But oh my god, it's so huge. There we go. So this is one of those like 1, 2, 3 triggers, trigger longs. What is this track? I don't know. It's some instrumental music I pay the license rights for. So you could justify this potentially as a long if we can get over that. That's a 1, 2, 3 long, okay? Double bottom is what I was looking for, is what I was hoping for. I wanted us to keep going this morning. I wanted to see this and have everybody freaking out. We didn't get it. And that sucks. But, you know, whatever. You could theoretically take this long. I don't see it yet. The S&P broke its downtrend line, which I'll pull up in a second here. But if we get like a real breakout above this level, Bit too loud. All right, my bad. There you go. If you get a real breakout above this level, it probably goes to 4,500. Okay. I think that's what I would expect to happen. Because what's sitting in, we talk about market psychology all the time, so I'll do that little bit here about market psychology. Great traders shorted here. Good traders shorted here. Bad traders shorted here. People that get liquidated short at the bottom, okay? So there is a lot of liquidation levels, many liquidation levels in here. So when you see a pivot failure like this, you see people that were shorting close, and you also see forced liquidation. So from a market psychology perspective, when we saw these wicks down, I guarantee you there were people looking at the chart going, this is it, this is the end. I'm going to be, I forget that one fucking guy, but he like famously shorted Bitcoin at the top in 2017, right? Like 20 grand, and he like YOLO shorted it, and he caught the top, and he held that bitch all the way down to like, I don't know, $1,000 or whatever it got to. And so people see this and they're like, all right, I'll jump in. I'm gonna get it. I'm losing money, but I'll make it up on my short. And they do it late. Like that's not a good. You need to short when everybody's longing, and long when everybody's shorting. So there's liquidation zones in here that if they start moving, it's going to be a violent move up. It is going to be a violent move up. And then the next logical point of resistance would be here, because these people were not being compulsive when they bought this dip. Look, it was a decent place. I like this a lot. I fucking love this actually, because this was a pivot that failed and it was retesting from this side. This had everything that we needed for us to move to new highs. And then you saw the shenanigans from Friday take over. But like this pivot flip here, these people very logically were longing a pivot flip pullback. Like it's a strategy. It's not my strategy, but it's one that you could play. And then they got smacked. But as we've talked about, people do not do what you would think. You would think if you bought this, you'd set your stops like at worst there, right? 4444. It's not what they do. It's not what they do. They hold. So you got late short fuel right back up into where people bought and held from. And when we get back up here, you'll see a rejection. So like the most likely outcome, if this scenario plays, runs to where we think it's going to go, here, I'll delete this, is you would see a breakout to here. These people would close their positions. So we get a liquidation cascade to these previous buyers, maybe even a wick up to here, and then probably come back down and test from this side. And then that's where the decision has to be made. Okay? So that's typically how higher lows work, and higher lows and higher highs. It's just people capitulating their positions at certain areas and painting in the chart. So if we get the breakout, it probably runs to 4,500, which if you got long this morning, close to 4,000, which I know a couple people did in the chat room and others. I did not. That could be a pretty amazing trade. Quite frankly, I was with my son this morning. I probably would have bought it. But I thought we were going to get Monday's shakeout down here, which is what I was looking for. I didn't get it. So, it goes. Yeah. Fuck, dude. Don't even... I'm so pissed about that. I mean, the liquidation cascade was supposed to happen to us right after you spotted literally the best setup in the whole bull market. Dude, for real, though. For real. It's fucking brutal. Adam was on the way to new highs. Adam was on the way to new highs. And that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. JP, that guy says, saw the book you recommended, Trading in the Zone. Good stuff. Everybody should read that. Every single person that's ever watched me stream, that's ever come into the Telegram, should read that book. Mark Douglas is not my uncle. He's not a family member. I don't know him. I don't even have an affiliate referral link on that bitch, even though I've probably sold 250 books. It's worth it. You need to manage your head before you can really make money in this. Snaggy P, how are you doing? I'm going back and looking. Go look at Nano. Somebody actually looked up Dragon Chain. Holy shit, Dragon Chain was 43 cents on 9/12/17. And on 9/1/18, it was $5.10. Cool. Oh no, he meant Okay, he's doing European. January 17th to 18th. Whatever. It went up 10x in no time. Is the point. I'm having trouble reading European dates. You guys trip me up. I know that you do it like everybody else does, but, you know, America. So Tripper Kerpa asked me, so do you enter the trade as a breakout? Yeah. No, you're fine, dude. That's on me. It's hard for me to, like, think while I'm streaming. Because then you see me here being like, all right, fuck, how do you... The date comes first, then the month. You know, I screwed up. Frazier, I'm glad to hear it, man. Just read it. Was fantastic. Cashews and Cream. Sorry, could you repeat the book again? I can't see it in the chat. Yeah, hold on. I'll type it in the chat. Trading the Zone by Mark Douglas. It is a book about trading. It has nothing to do with setups. It has everything to do with your emotions and psychology of trading, which is the harder part. I've said this 1,000 times. Literally 1,000 times. I could teach you everything that I know. Kaz could teach you everything he knows. Cred could teach you everything he knows about lines on charts. But if you can't manage your head, you're still going to be unprofitable. You're still going to be unprofitable. I promise. So, you can either start working on your psychology now or wait until you make a fortune and lose it because you're impulsive. It's up to you. So anyway, Chirpa said, do you buy the breakout? Golf does help for trading. I'm a big golfer. You could buy the breakout if you wanted to. You could buy the breakout if you wanted to. It's just a higher risk trade. It's a higher risk trade because while what I just laid out looks pretty clear, it's like, okay, well, if it goes up and you take out this wick, it's probably moon time, right? Yeah. But, you know, breakouts are the most manipulated trades ever. Because you can look when the order book's thin and go, okay, order book's thin. There's not a lot of sells at this logical resistance area. I'm just going to pump this really quick. Like, I probably personally, and I don't trade with that much money, could move it past that wick for a moment, which is what triggers breakout traders. Like, there's conditional buys above this level. Conditional buy you can do on pretty much every exchange, where like the high here is 42.53.52. So you set a conditional buy at 42.55, and if price gets to that point, it triggers a market buy. So they're heavily manipulated, which is why you see like wick and rinse all the time, because you trigger those conditional market buys and then immediately jam reverse price and you take out all those people's stops. So mid-range, you know, pivot failure breakout trade, it's a pretty minus EV play. But if you start seeing crazy volume coming in, it's up to you. It's up to you. Upper GG says, sir, for a newbie, Forex would be easier than crypto futures, right? You know, I've never really traded Forex. I don't see the point in it, to be honest. Like, I'm on leverage for pips, trying to make, you know, whatever. I just, no. No, I wouldn't do it. Playmaker XCIII. First time in the stream, up or down? Well, you should go back and watch the whole stream. I'm not bearish. That doesn't mean we go up right now, though. If you want my explanation on why Ethereum's the leader and why I think that we're still mid-cycle and why we still have a parabolic move coming, you can watch the start of the stream, too. Camelcan says, can you give us insight on how to manage profit taking during a trade that's going great within a very aggressive move like this one? Like, let's say an ETH short at 4,600. So, like, if you caught the short at 4,600, like, let's say you actually did, then if you were that good, you also would be that good to know that this is like the key area on Ethereum and you should have closed. Right? So let's say we actually get this range that we've been talking about. This is where people screw up. Like this is some of the best alpha I can give you. Everybody will look at a short or a trade and say, this is easy. Let's say this is an established range now. Let's say this area is an established range now. And you get to the high and you see a reversal and you take the high. And even after you take the high, the short moves with you. Okay, so this is the scenario we're talking about. The short moves with you. You got to show short range high and it actually moved the way that you thought. So it moved against you. What most people will do is they will take profits early. So it gets down to mid-range and they start going, you know, I could see where, yeah, it probably would happen here. You know, well, they could reverse and they close. And my contention to you is if you're trading a range, you have your entry. If it moves against you, you either keep your stops where they are to where you would have like a minus loss if it reversed, or a minor loss if it reverses on you, or you set your profit at the range low and then you forget about it, guys. Like you literally forget about it. Don't touch it. It's going to resolve eventually one way or another. Yeah, guy says, put your money where your mouth, buy ETH through your stables then. I just talked about how I have like $250,000 in ETH. I'm just not deploying my full stack because I don't need to. Okay? Like $250,000 to me makes me feel fine. It won't make me FOMO or do anything else. So, Playmaker's saying, what do you think about Bitcoin? And again, you're not going to go watch the start of this stream because people don't do that. They just want, you know, to know what they know when they see it. But my contention from this, not even just now, but like for a long time, is Bitcoin has been riding the coattails of Ethereum has been riding the coattails. I'm sorry, Bitcoin has been riding the coattails of Ethereum. Okay? Go back and dude, watch. Crusader says, why do I have a crown? Somebody gifted you a sub. We have a lot of very, very generous and wealthy people who watch this stream. And they come in and like last week we had like 100, not even 100, like 70 subs that were just given out. So you were one of them. Yeah, see, these cats all you guys got subs because there's a lot of guys who come in here that do well, that are supporting me and you guys, and they gave you all subs. That's why. So, you know, it should tell you who gave it to you. It was either JOV or Corian or Shady. One of those guys probably gave it to you. So anyway, back to my point. My point is Ethereum is leading, Bitcoin is playing kid sister and has been since fall of 2019. Well, Playmaker, like, I like to respond to people. I really do. Like, I think people tell me that they like the fact that I'm actually responsive and I look at what people are saying. But I also like, my stream format is always the first 20, 30, 40 minutes are me just talking about macro markets and what I expect to have happen. So I could have told you that. That's my bad. Elabora. Or Elbora? Elabora? I'm going to go with Elbora. Thank you for the sub. Very kind of you. The Prime sub. Very sick. Very sick. Very nice. So, do I think we're going to have gains trickling to Q1? Like, are you asking me, do I think that the market persists into Q1? Oh, that's sick. So you guys may have just seen, so there's a Telegram chat. I'm sure some of you are in there, not all of you, where we have people that have a ton of alpha that they drop. And a validator in the Cosmos ecosystem just gave us all a bunch of airdrops on Cosmos. So, you know, It pays to jump in and be part of the community. That's the invite link I just posted. Matic could be a nice alt for this whole thing. So Camel Can, okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to go back a little bit. Keat SG1. Yeah, I left crypto a while back except for BTC. Need the market to clean itself up before re-entering. Too many characteristics of the dot-com bubble. Too much momentum in the market with lack of fundamentals to support it. Long-term bullish, though. Brought up a lot of stocks today. Bought up, I'm assuming you meant. Yeah, look, it's speculation haven here. It's speculation haven, but the thing about the dot-com bubble is while there was a bunch of like, you know, feedyourdog.coms that didn't work, Google also started then too, right? Thanks, Dr. Gigi. So it depends on what you want to do. What I would say is, like, if you're purely in Bitcoin, you're losing to Ethereum, and you have been losing to Ethereum since September of 2019. It's just like a common axiom where it's like, well, if you're going to dip out into Bitcoin. And what I'm saying is, like, that has been true for a large portion of crypto history. But if you had made that decision from any point in September of 2019 to now, you are underwater versus had you bought Ethereum. Any point from September of 2019 to now, if you had just rallied and bought Ethereum as your store of value instead of Bitcoin, you would have more money. So yes, the axiom is all the big money retreats to Bitcoin, but 2 years of data says that's actually not true. That's correct, dudeness. I mean, we're right here. Here's the chart. We've been making higher lows September 1st of 2019. We've been making higher lows the whole way. But nobody looks at that. Plus, that doesn't fit the narrative. Doesn't fit the narrative. Bitcoin's king, right? Come on, Bitcoin's king. I can't ever imagine being a maxi. I also followed that up by saying if I saw a compelling case to the otherwise, I would change my opinion tomorrow. Why? Not because I'm a flip-flopper, because I'm a human. Right now, this is what it says. So yeah, somebody said, you know, the airdrops are already passed in the Cosmos ecosystem, right? And yes, they are. But the point is, there's a ton of people in there that will help you get positioned to get the next airdrop. I said on my last stream that Cosmos, and by the way, I watched Cold Blooded Schiller stream for the first time ever the other day. And he literally was talking about Cosmos, and he was like, you know what? Cosmos is about to have this great run. It was about to have this incredible rip higher. Atom was. And then all this market bullshit happened, and we just got crushed. And he said, so, you know, I'm not really worried about Atom. I have so much staked on the Cosmo ecosystem, and I have so many farms on the Cosmos ecosystem, I don't care about price. Cold-blooded Schiller said that. Okay? So you might be like, all right, Jared and his group of, like, merry men are the only ones staking on Cosmos. Nope. People who actually understand what's happening on Cosmos are taking advantage of it, and that's what we do in the Stack Labs chat. If you want to make money, join. If you don't, that's fine. Do you? Yeah, did you see that, Shady? I mean, he actually talked about it. I mean, I've been paraphrasing, but isn't that pretty much exactly what he said? I don't really care about price. I'm yield farming and staking, and I'll see you later. Like, that's essentially what he said. Yeah. All right. Sick. The link that I posted is Telegram. I don't have Discord yet. I'm a boomer. I don't like Discord. Yeah, I know. CBS is Cold-Blooded Schiller. cold-blooded shiller. I swear to God, I will create a Discord server when my class comes out, which should be in the next, like, 2 months. By the way, for all of you new who are like, oh, he's putting out a class, Jared's going to be a paid group leader. Nope, 100% free. Yes, John, that's exactly what I'm saying. John went back and watched the start of the stream. In the start of the stream, the get your notes from a friend summary is you've been looking at Bitcoin and you've been wrong. Decisions for going to cash, for investing, for whatever it is, should be made on this chart only. If you're looking at a USD pair, and on ETH BTC otherwise. Those two things in conjunction, you'll make more money than 99% of people in crypto. But that's a lot of work. It's contrarian. Yeah, contrarians make money. And if we flip this parabolic line, dude, it's gonna be crazy. Let's go look at everybody's favorite piece of shit here, DeFi. Right about here, I was talking about how DeFi just looks terrible and there's no justifiable reason to own it, and that worked out pretty well. Because it was exactly right. DeFi sucks. I like Link, I like Aave, I like Wi-Fi, I like all these things, but at the end of the day, like, their charts are the definition of poverty. Like, look at this. That's what poverty looks like, guys. From the Wi-Fi top the first time in DeFi summer to right now, you are down 95% versus Ethereum. Yep, we're going to rename this pattern the poverty pattern. Trademark, JM plus EV. This is the poverty. And not only that, not only is it the poverty chart, but look at the bars down at the bottom here. People are still selling. Yeah, flying stacks by the bottom. Look at the sell volume. We had like a slow grind down, and then over the past 6-7 days, the selling has increased on Wi-Fi to Ethereum. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, so that's like your classic out of the textbook poverty pattern. Another favorite that I get asked all the time, like Link. Link looks like a pretty good buy, right? If that's support on the USD pair, isn't that what you think you want to buy? Well, yeah, it looks like it's at support, and then you go do this, and you go, son of a bitch, it's also the poverty pattern. Oh my God, since the Link Marines ran out of gas at the end of DeFi summer, you are down now at this point 91%. So no, it's not the time to buy Link ever. The only time that you want to buy Link is when you see a reversal on this chart only. Yeah, look, it's 2% better than whatever the hell I was just looking at, okay? The good news is, and here, like, look, this might no shit, you know, Jared, you were just talking shit. It's actually back into support that I drew in, 2019. So, maybe we see that reversal. Oh, you want to see another poverty chart? I can do poverty charts all day. Hey, look at that. There's the Litecoin poverty chart. Litecoin's down even further now. There we go. 94% from its highs in 2019. Congratulations. You are now poor. What else? What's another good one that we usually do? Aave. Aave's at support, right? Look, it's got this little double bottom forming. Well, let's look at the Aave ETH chart. Nope. Aave, also the poverty play. And yeah, so Kaz is bringing up a tremendous point, which I will show in a moment. Okay. To be fair to Aave, it's only down 87% versus Ethereum. Thank you for everything, man. I don't know if that was intended for me or Kaz, because Kaz just spoke, but if you're sending it to me, you are welcome. And I'm glad you're here, and I hope you join the Telegram, and I want to make every single one of you make it. Okay? That's what I enjoy doing. All right, so let's look at the poverty chart. Oh. But everything's the poverty. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it, Arctic. The yeah, I'll link your ETH chart again. Or I'll link my ETH chart again. Yeah, this is the inverse poverty chart. Look, all right, guys, look. I got bad news. Sol ETH is the poverty chart as well, guys. Look, it's terrible. It's terrible. Look at that. It's just down only, right? No, I inverted my chart, okay? This is what it actually looks like. Yeah, this is not the poverty, but the prosperity chart. I'm putting that in my class. Camel Can, I will cite you as the person that gave it to me. I'll put only bad names left too, but I will literally put in my class when talking about relative strength. There's the poverty chart and the prosperity chart, and here's how you know. I swear to God, I will do it, and I will give you guys credit for it because it's 100% true. This is the prosperity chart or the inverse poverty chart. Either one, I like both. And yeah, so Solana versus Ethereum looks pretty damn good going back to 2021 before the breakouts, guys. Before the breakouts. Yeah, Nibbler. The problem is there's no place to do that. Look, I would love to. I would love to do that. I would love to create that fund. If it ends up having enough liquidity eventually on Solana, I will. But it's not there yet. So yeah, this is the inverse poverty fund. I will get to Luna here in a moment. A high level consolidation for Solana versus ETH. Pretty good. Okay. Hold these lows. You got a range high. Like, quite frankly, you guys aren't going to love this, but I would have no problem with this for like a while. Okay. Solarium. Yeah, Solarium. It does go hard, right? It hits. Here's the Solarium chart. So I would have no problem with us just moving in a high range, a high level range. And then like I would like to think, because I like Solana, that it will break up. But at the same time, if it broke down, then I sell. Then I sell to Ethereum. And I don't care. I don't need to consider, well, what do I do? I think in this is my last aside, and then I'll get to your guys' charts, and then we'll wrap it up for the day, because we've been on for an hour. I think what a lot of new people into the market really, really struggle with is decisiveness. The ability to look at something and make a decision, okay? Which is why people like Kaz and myself, I don't have Kaz's audience, or CBS or Cred or whomever, why when these Don Alt and fucking Ledger and those guys, the reason why there's such a big following for those types of people and why it's fun doing it is if you're new into this, you probably lack conviction, okay? And you've probably heard me make a joke sometime to say, yeah, dude, you can borrow some of my conviction whenever you like. But the point is for you to get your own conviction. That's why I like doing this. I want you to have your own conviction. Don't take mine, man. Fucking ads. God damn it. Chirpa, I appreciate you. Oh, fuck, you can't hear me. It's also tiresome. I lack convictions in astronomical amounts. John, that's okay, man. Like, it's okay if you lack conviction. The point is very much, though, like, I want you to come in here and I want you to learn. And I want you to hop into the Stack Labs Telegram. And I want you to ask questions. And I want you to see when I post things. And I want you to do those things. But it's not for the sake of, like, being like, oh, Jared's long, I'm going to do it. Well, no, I know you are. Well, I don't know what your name is, but I assume you are. But my point is, I want you to come in so you eventually get to the point where it's your own conviction that gets you places. Because it is a lot harder to hold shit that's not your idea. And let me give you an example on this. That's why I had this up. Okay? This is a 3-day chart on Spell, guys. You can go back and look in the Stacked Labs Telegram group. You can search it. On August 11th, I said you guys should probably buy Spell. It looks good. That was in my Telegram room. Okay? That's pretty good. And look what it did, okay? This is versus Ethereum, mind you. Actually, is it? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. It's like 50x from there. But you know where I sold the majority of my holdings? Here. I sold them here. Now, don't get me wrong, that was a great trade. It's a great trade. I'll take from where I was to where I sold all day. The reason why I didn't hold longer is it wasn't my conviction. I'm in a group with Messi, with Crypto Messiah, and he was telling us about it, and he seemed pretty excited, and I was like, sick, that's enough for me to take a position. I looked into it a little bit, and I was like, all right. And then it was in profit. And I never took the time to actually read and dispel. This is before AVAX and before, Danny was a celebrity with time and all that shit. And I sold out. Do you understand what would have happened if I held that shit to the top? It'd have been the greatest trade of my life. But it wasn't my conviction. And so I don't give that to say like, hey, I had a gem and I made a ton of money on it, but I could have made more. Like, that's an asshole thing to say. My point is, because it wasn't my conviction, it's easier to get shaken out of a trade. Truly. So you can borrow my conviction as much as you like, but the point of this is for you to get to the point where it's your conviction, not mine. Does that make sense? Is that resonating with anybody? Paper hand? Yeah, fucking A, man. What is this stream? You know what, man? What is life? What is man? Should have held. Yeah. Yeah. Just so you know, Hidden Branch, I do okay. But you're right, I should have held. What is this stream? I don't know how you got here without knowing what the stream is, but this is the Stacked Labs stream. My name is Jared. My Twitter handle is JM+EV. I'm a crypto analyst and technical analyst. And, we talk about shit twice a week, sometimes 3 times. You never know. Let's look at something that has been absolutely perplexing to me and is another one. What is this plus EV thing? Well, there's plus EV is a borrowed term that I personally enjoy. It's actually traced back to poker, more so than trading. But plus EV, the term is plus expected value. Okay. Let me give you, this is actually a perfect time to be talking about this. Is the best example I can give you for plus expected value right now. Okay. Plus expected value. Yeah, dude. Plus EV podcast. Coming to you soon. Jared and Kaz. How come you can predict the chart but others can't? Because I've been doing this longer than most people. That's why. What is my relationship to Stacked? Believe it or not, I have no official association with Stacked. I really don't. This stream is sponsored by Stacked, but Stacked doesn't pay me either. Okay. The CEO of Stacked and I go back a decade, Joel Birch. That's my relationship with Stacked. I know a lot of the guys there. I know Alan. Talk with some of the other team, Bay, yada yada. And so I stream under their banner because they weren't doing anything. That's it. So my opinions do not necessarily reflect those of Stacked, but they also don't give a shit. So, all right. So here's the plus EV example that is the best way for me to explain this concept behind plus EV. Plus EV is putting yourself in a situation and taking a trade where you have a plus expected value of your return being positive, okay? That's the whole idea behind how I trade. It's the whole idea by which I manage my life, quite frankly. And really, you will and should too. The best example I can give of plus EV right now is this line, okay? See this line? This was a major pivot. This was a major pivot. We flipped it and it came back down to here, okay? We longed off this line on this stream that week. And the point is, you want to find trades, whether it be technically or trades, whether it be from a fundamental perspective or whatever it is, and you go, look, I think my thesis is from this point, it will move in this direction. And when you have plus expected value, it just means you have a greater than 50% chance, right? Is it 55%? Is it 60%? Is it 70%? Whatever. That doesn't mean it happens all the time. So plus expected value as a concept is saying that if you were to take this trade, this range trade, okay, let's say we have to put our stops here. If you were to take this range trade against two major pivots, if you can take this range trade against two major pivots in a series of events, so let's say I trade this trade 100 times, where I am longing this very strong resistance area, support area, to try to get to resistance in a large sample size, how often is it going to break down? How often is it going to respond? And so you look at high time frames, you look at where price has been supported before, and you can say with confidence that this is a plus expected value area to trade because of how important this area is. So does it mean it's going to work all the time? No. But if I only traded a setup that looked like this 100 times or 1,000 times or 5,000 times or whatever, I would win more often than I would lose, and that makes me a profitable trader. Okay, that's the whole idea behind plus expected value, is take the macro moves, wait till it gets to a point where you can essentially put your back against the wall and go, look, it may not work, because that's how fucking this shit goes. Nobody can predict the future, but it more than likely is going to work, and I will wait for these types of setups. That's all it is, guys. It's plus expected value. It's a poker term that is used from a, like, if you were in a holding cards, you know what you have, you know what your percentage win rate is from the cards that you have. Yes, you're holding a full house. Is there a chance somebody has a straight flush out there? Sure. But based on the cards that you've seen on the board already, is it likely that they have it? And you can essentially go, I have a plus expected value for me taking or making this call or betting aggressively to kind of take position from where I am betting in poker. That's where plus expected value comes from. But that's the whole idea. So the plus EV is the best moniker, the best strategy, the best mantra in investing and life that you could possibly imagine, right? Like, I sold my condo in Chicago at pretty much the top of the Chicago real estate market. Not because I thought it was the top and I wanted to get out, but I knew my home had appreciated a ton, and it would be pretty stupid of me to expect it to continue going up a hell of a lot more when there were issues on the horizon. So I sold it at the top. It was a minus expected value from that point moving forward. And I bought a beach home on Lake Michigan where the market was down. And guess what's happened since then? The home has gone up. Right? You can apply this anywhere. Anyway. You guys are like, yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. We don't care. But that's the point in trading. Putting conditions in your favor to have a positive expected value, a positive expected result. Very simple idea. Very hard to manage your emotions and stick to it. Anyway, any questions for the class? I feel like I come in here and this is like a fucking lecture hall, which I try not to do, but so it goes. Best explanation ever. Thank you. Yeah, man, good. Good. Where on the lake? Ah, nice try, Fed. Nice try. No, sir. Yeah, sorry. That's what I was going to Luna, and then I got up. I was put off. What's the oldest Luna pair? Do you know? It's got to be something stupid. Bing Bong, Huobi. All right, that's pretty good. There you go. Duke of Spook and Ivan from Ukraine, which awesome, like Ukraine. Andrei Shevchenko, that's my home dog. I will answer your questions here in a moment. So let's talk about Luna. Luna has been an absolute killer, and Akorian, who is the second most donating person in here, was telling us all about Luna here. I mean, literally everywhere, and urging us all to buy Luna a hell of a long time ago. And I was like, yeah, Luna's cool. And I didn't do it, which is terrible. So, yeah, if you just listen in the Stack Labs chat, you can make some pretty good money. And I need to do that more too. So, yeah, Luna has this like parabolic flip line. And it's holding it. Okay. This Luna chart. Yeah. Dude, CS, the number of those that I have, my buddy begged me to buy it at $5 and I never did. Yeah, I can't even, makes me sick. So again, here's our parabolic flip line on Luna. Look what's happening, guys and gals. I assume there's a few women out there. It flipped it. It's holding it. Anything under this parabolic flip line, anything under $55, it's worth buying. It's worth doing. Okay. Here's what's stopping Luna right now. The market's garbage. That's what's stopping Luna right now. ETHburner, thank you, man. I appreciate the sub, as always. We got something crazy. We got like 120 subs right now, which is pretty sick. So thank you all for your subs. I do appreciate it. I always say this about subs too. So ETHburner subscribed with Prime, and Elbora subscribed with Prime earlier. I understand you get that for free. I appreciate it if you want to do that. If you don't have the money to sub, please don't. Please don't. I appreciate it. It makes me feel good. There's a bit of competitiveness in me that wants people to sub, but if it's like, hey man, times are tough, don't. I don't want you to sub. Please don't. But I appreciate when you do. Very, very much. I've actually never taken a penny out of this. I'm assuming I have a bank or a tally somewhere. Maybe I'll use that money one day and we'll do like a token airdrop on some chain. But I don't need the money. But I do appreciate it. So thank you. I don't pay the taxes on it, quite frank. Arctic, agree, man. Agree. So you have this parabolic flip line. If you get anything back like under 55 or anywhere near this line where it shows strength, I think it's worth the buy. You saw it start to get crazy at 78. And again, it's called the parabolic flip line for a reason. Because if you can get over it, it's going to go parabolic. Luneth. In fact, it might be better to look at this instead as the flip retest, okay? Anywhere in that red box would be a pretty good idea to get long. I'm actually kind of shocked at how well it's doing given those two sell bars, quite frankly. Camel Can Luna is one of those coins I hurt the most because I had a fat bag in 2020 before it hit $1. Guess what I did? Held it for 2 months and then I sold at 1.5x. Again, that's why I talk about, like, you know, your conviction on long-term backs. Like, one of my strongest conviction holds right now is Juno on Cosmos. Juno. I'm staking thousands and thousands of Juno now. I actually upped my stake the other day. Chirpa Kerpa, thank you for the sub, man. Very cool. I'm staking an absolute shitload of Juno. And based on what Highlander has sold me on, and based on what I've read, if Cosmos succeeds, Juno has an enormous future. My current thesis is the Cosmos Atom will succeed. They have mainnet upgrade this week. Their smart contracts coming, And yeah, there's a ton of reasons to be bullish on Juno. One of the things that I've talked about before is that I use the example of Layer 0. You can have a great team, you can have a great idea, you can have a great product. If your tokenomics are garbage, price isn't going anywhere. I said I use Layer 0 because Layer 0 is among the most bullish projects in existence right now. If Layer 0 pulls off what they intend to do, okay, hear me on this. If Layer 0 pulls off what they intend to do, it will be a top 20 market cap token. Okay? But if they fuck up their tokenomics, I've never looked at their tokenomics. I just know what they're trying to solve. I've never looked at their tokenomics. I've read their white paper. Their white paper doesn't talk about tokenomics. If they do not tie the value of their project well to their token, it will not do well. And that's the piece that a lot of people miss when they like just bag hold super hard on alts. They're like, oh my God, this shit's gonna be amazing. Like, well, yes, but they completely screwed up their tokenomics. So even though they're doing something great, when you have a bunch of VCs with a kajillion tokens that are going to suppress price for 5 years and kill any momentum that it had, you know, good luck, right? Layer 0 is not out yet. It's Layer 0 protocol on Twitter. I don't know. You should Google it. It's not out yet. It's coming. I talked to Brian, the CEO of Layer 0, here and there. He's pretty busy now. I would love to have him on here to chat, but Brian's too big time for me now, so I don't think he'll be able to do it now that he's gonna, you know, take over the world. Yeah, that's it. Layer 0 live. You got it. Only bad names left. Got it right. There you go. Layer0.network. This is it. You should go look at it. I'm going to clip this video and send it to Brian about how he's too big to hang out anymore and see if I can guilt him into coming on and talking about it. But yeah, I mean, the FA on it is absurd. But if they get their tokenomics wrong, then it's fucked. So back to my initial point about Juno. Juno is all fair launched, okay? There was no pre-sale, there was no anything. The only way that you get Juno is by staking to a validator or by boosted pools on other chains, right? Which happens on Osmo. Like I'm in a yield farm on Osmo that is yielding me both Osmo and Juno, okay? And their emission schedule is over 12 years. So you're like, oh my God, it's gonna be inflating for 12 years? Well, yeah. But we're in year 1 right now. The majority of emissions are year 1 and 2. And so that's why I said earlier in the Stack Labs chat, I think it's at least a 2-year hold. And so why? Because I like what they're doing. I like Cosmos. If they get it right, it's going to be huge. And right now, no one's farming it. So I can stake, you know, it's a lot of money, like 50 grand worth of Juno. And it's paying like over 100% APY a year. It's insane. It's not even 100 grand that I have, but you know, like 50. And it will continue to pay bigly. It could go to 0. Okay. It could go to 0. And I don't care if it does, because I have sold myself into the tokenomics and what it's going to be if Cosmos is to succeed. Right. So that's how I feel. Can you buy this? Yeah, so I am not insinuating, just to be very, very clear, I'm not insinuating that Layer 0 is going to mess up their tokenomics. What I'm saying is that it's the most FA bullish project I've heard of in weeks, months, years. And I love what they're trying to do. They're essentially trying to connect liquidity from every SEX, DEX, chain, everything into one Layer 0 that sits underneath everything. You'd have to get the chains or the SEXs to play along, but one of their largest investors is Binance, okay? So if Binance is saying, yeah, we're willing to participate in your seed or in your funding, and we'll participate in helping you get this done as one of the largest liquidity providers in the world for crypto, that's a pretty bullish sign. So all I'm saying there's nothing to say Layer 0 is going to screw up. In fact, I imagine they won't. What I'm saying is, for as good as the FA is, if they screwed up their tokenomics, it wouldn't matter how good the FA is. That's all I'm trying to say. It would not matter how good the project is if they screw up tokenomics. I do not think they will. Brian and his team are very smart. I'm certain they have done what they needed to do to run the models. So that's all I was trying to say. And they're already at like $1 billion valuation before launch, so it's not going to be like a 10,000x, but it should be a pretty good run. Sardi says, can you buy this? I'm assuming you're talking about Juno. Yeah, you can buy Juno. The Duke of Spook 1 followed me. I tell you what, that's a great name. All right, back to Ivan from Ukraine and a couple other questions that I had. How do I feel about... Oh, the Duke of Spook. That was the guy who said that. It's amazing. How do you feel about Algorand moving into 2022? So Algo is going to be one of those ones that I am annoyed about for years to come because I haven't been paying appropriate attention to it. I'm staking Juno. So Highlander Nodes, at Highlander Nodes on Twitter, is in the Stacked Labs room. So he's in there, and like he gives us all... You know, a lot of people think that you shill a Telegram room for personal or selfish reasons, which, you know, I do. I want the Telegram room to grow, and it makes me feel good when more people join. So, yes. But Highlander is a validator on the Juno network, and he's in the Stack Labs room. He brings us alpha constantly on Cosmos. He's like, hey, guys, this is coming up. You should probably LP here. You know, like, there's an airdrop coming. That kind of shit. So anyway, you can stake to Highlander's node. So I stake all of mine with his because, you know, he's my homeboy. He supports my Telegram channel and I support his node. So that's where I stake it. You do it through your Kepler wallet, and there's a website for that too. Okay. There's questions in the Stack Labs chat right now. Are Adam ones... And the Adam ones are airdrop earned who staked any validator if you qualify. Yeah, there are some restrictions on which validators you qualify to, or qualify or stake to. Like if you stake with Binance's validator, you will not get airdrops. Okay, so if you have questions about that, just come into the Stack Labs and ask him. He's a validator. Okay, so just come ask him. Algo, you know what? This looks really good. Is there an Algo ETH pair somewhere? Yeah, so that looks like shit. But the USD chart looks really, really good. So if there is some sort of breakout, I would be interested. Again, this is me. You guys are like, yeah, Jared, you've been saying this for a month. I need to spend more time on Algo. All I know is that there's some mega backers, and it's a way that traditional finance is going to like they have their own chain and they're gonna do things on it. That's pretty much all I know. And I know that the chart is like pretty amazing. In fact, I'm gonna add this and this to my watch list. So now I can look at it every day and get annoyed. But yeah, I mean, we're holding this line right now. Albora, not sure if you care about this one, but how do you feel about woo? Does it work? Damn, it doesn't work. Oh, okay. My gifts aren't working. Gotta figure that out. Camel Cam, I feel like I'm massive boomer asking this, but I've never staked before, so I linked my Kepler wallet to the pool, then I started staking. No, there's more to it, man. I can't explain it here. Just jump. I think you are in the Stack Labs chat, but I'll walk you through it in there, or somebody will. Here's the downside to staking to a validator. It's a 21-day hold. If you decide to unstake, it's for 21 days before you get your money out. So you better sell yourself on the long-term vision quick before you start doing that. Or else you're going to be like, oh my God, the market's taking a shit. I'm going to get my stuff out. Well, we'll see what it's like in 3 weeks. So Ivan from Ukraine asked about Ohm. Ohm. I haven't actually looked at the statistics on Ohm. like Time put something out where, you know, the Time price was $5,500, but it's backed by $2,200 each. And you're like, so wait, something that's worth $5,500 is actually only backed by $2,200? Like, yeah, that's what this is. It's essentially a gigantic Ponzi, which is what Ohm is too. Ohm just did it better first, or they did it first, and then Time kind of improved upon it because he mixed in his whole like MIM, stablecoin and spell, and there's just different ways for that protocol to make money. So yeah, Time is a when you see the breadth of actual backed to price narrow, you want to buy, and it's getting pretty close right now, at least comparatively. So Kevin, thanks man. Kevin Hart, subscribe for tier 1 for 3 months. Well, kudos to you, sir. I'll see you in the spring. Very, very cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, look at Adam. It's not gonna be fun. So the thing is with Ohm, you know, they turned down their rewards after that one guy tried to de-risk and they liquidated him. That was this bar in October. So guy tried to de-risk up here, and then they saw how over leveraged he was, and they dropped price just to knock a single guy out, which is pretty funny. The area you want to hold is essentially where it is right now, and I don't think it will. I think you'll probably see Ohm back down to $300 pretty soon. It's just showing weakness. When there's weakness and when a project is over or is diluted the way that this is, it's really hard to maintain value if people aren't doing the whole 1-1-3-3 bullshit. So look at Adam. This is like the ultimate kick in the stones, man. It's just brutal. We literally had an amazing setup that we all got long on at 28. It went to 35, 36, and that was right into market collapse. I mean, just brutal, guys. I hope you made money. I hope you didn't lose money. I know a lot of people did. Okay. This is why, as I say all the time, the first chapter you'll read in Trading in the Zone is, I believe that anything can happen at any time, and you need to like internalize that. And I don't mean just like, you know, whimsically to be like, at any time anything can happen. Oh yes, I do believe that. No, you need to protect your capital as if anything can happen in the market at any time. Like, I need to like not just think, but I need to believe that there is a chance that Bitcoin goes to zero tomorrow. And if there is a chance that Bitcoin goes to zero tomorrow, how would I protect myself against that outcome? Well, putting in stops is certainly one of them. And having a plan for volatility is another one. But when you actually think about that, if you were going to try to create a trading strategy under the belief that at any time anything can happen, which also includes Bitcoin going to 1 million tomorrow, okay? It's not just the downside, but how are you going to position yourself for that trade? Well, I bring this back to Adam because we essentially caught it at 28. It ran to 36. I mean, we had a 35% trade in fucking 10 hours, not even. And then the market reversed. We went from 36 down to, what was the low? The low is today. $22, man. Down $14 from the high, which sucks. Like, Adam was about to have its time. We had a great reversal. We had a DTL breakout. Volume was coming in, and then boom, people got out. Just garbage. So where do we want it to hold? I think this area is probably our best bet. If you wanted to get long on Adam again at a different place, which again, if you don't, I get that too. If we don't hold like this area, that 20 to 21, we're going to go a lot lower. I would say 17, and it's possible 17, but like if we get to 17, there's also a decent chance that we're going back down to like the way range low, like $9. So it depends very much on what happens with the overall market. Overall market is obviously punishing Adam right now, which sucks. This does look like a logical place that it would hold versus Ethereum, but again, how do you know? How do you know? What do I think about ETH future? I think the number goes up. The first thing I talked about on this stream, Dominicus, is Ethereum. So go watch the beginning of the stream. You'll see it. So John's asked us a few times, what reversal signals are you looking at for ETH and BTC? Anything specific? So this is why I need to get my class out faster than I am, because no, there's not anything specific. There's 3 triggers that I look for personally. There's probably another 7 that I use and I will monitor for. But I can't tell you which one it's going to be. My point is, like, when I look at a chart, and I don't know if you guys do this or if I'm saying this and you're like, yeah, no shit, dummy. But I figure I should mention this. Like, when I see an area, this is, a really good lesson for everybody here. This is a really good lesson for everybody here. I have this line here as the key line, and it is, okay? It's 39.28. It's a key line. But just because it gets there does not mean you buy. And I think that most people do that, okay? Like, most people are like, oh, hit the line, buy. And that's a really, really good way to go broke. That's a great way to go broke, actually. It is a really good way to lose money. You need to have actual reversal signals and triggers in that area. And so what I do when I look at this stuff is I get an area and I set alerts on it. So I'll give you an example. ETH range high, look for reversal. Okay. This is my alert. So if we ever come up here and touch this area again, that's going to send me a text. When we hit 48.11, it will text my phone, and my phone will say, ETH, top of range, look for reversals. Okay? And if I don't do shit like that, like literally, I've told you guys this before and I made this joke. I am the living embodiment of the movie Memento of Guy Pearce, okay? Like, if I didn't have text alerts, I'd be getting tattoos on my body. I just forget stuff because I have too much shit going on. So I leave myself breadcrumbs on the chart and in my alerts that are sent to me. And so I don't need to think about this anymore. I know where the range low is. I know where the range high is. I set alerts for areas. And then when they happen, I go to my computer or I pull up my phone and I go, all right, let's look. What do we have going on? And then I diagnose that area. Get on a little bit of a lower time frame, see what's going on. If I don't see a reversal, I do not trade it. I don't trade it. I have no problem at all. Let's say, all right, like I wanted to get long here, right? I was with my son this morning. I didn't see it. If I had been, there was a trigger that I liked and I probably would have taken it, but I didn't. Okay. Well, that sucks. A lot of you would probably be looking at this going like, oh man, so now what? You just FOMO in here? No, it's a minus EV play. It's a minus EV play to long the middle of a range. So I have no problem with the fact that I missed this area waiting for the next logical place, even if that's here. Well, Jared, you sold at 4,500. You're buying back at 5,000. Yeah. I got no problem doing that. There's always another trade. So when the alert goes off, you look for reversals. If you didn't get the reversal, you didn't get the entry that you want. Tough shit, man. Wait for the next one. That's where Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas and managing your emotions matters quite a bit, so you don't give yourself shit entries. Yes, of course, Chirpa, the class will be showing how to identify reversals. 100%. Oops. I didn't know that there's alerts now. on Chartex. It's pretty sick. Makes sense. Man, I have so much to learn. I need to deep dive no life this shit. Dude, I've been doing this for a dozen years. I've been doing this for 12 years. Look at the amount of gray that I have in my beard and in my hair. That's a lot of 20-hour days. Strong nodes. Yeah, sure. I don't know what you're talking about. Again, if you don't give me more than that, like the Guy Pearce memento, need to leave yourself tats. Like, yes, I do journal. I have my own journal that I use. Journaling is the best way to get better. I had a program that I used for a long time. What the hell is going on right now? There we go. As we've talked about with alts, I'm blanking on it. It's been years now. Edgewonk. I used Edgewonk forever. EDGEWONK, Edgewonk. And they were really good. They went from a downloaded software to a hosted software, and that pissed me off, so I stopped. Because I don't want to rely on your hosted software for my journaling. Fuck you. I want it on my machine. So they lost me. Remember with alts, guys. With alts, what you are selling to buy that alt matters. Just like ETH-BTC or whatever. So this is time over AVAX because time is traded on Avalanche. I would probably wait a little bit more on time. I would wait more. You give me time down here around 40 and I'm a buyer. And I own nothing on Avalanche apart from Apex right now. So strong nodes, you're going to have to tell me out. What do you mean by that? Like, should I know that? Again, I'm sorry. Really, guys, I'm a TA guy first, and then I'm an FA guy. And there's a lot I still need to learn about crypto. So tell me what you mean by that, and I'll tell you my thoughts. But I'm probably not the guy for that. And I have no problem looking stupid, being like, I don't know what you mean. Oof, FTM looks terrible. Versus Ethereum, though, probably at support. So, I don't know. All you spooky villers or whatever the hell people, Phantomaniacs, if you like Phantom, if you believe in the FA on Phantom long term, this is a pretty good spot versus Ethereum. Pretty good spot. So Snaggy P says, however, high APY can make up for it potentially. I'm assuming you were talking about time there. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I mean, that's the thing. You make crazy returns on that. But I would rather... I still want to see... I don't want to look at a red entry. Ever. If I can avoid it. So, like, this... I mean, this is weakness. This is relative weakness versus AVAX here. Oh, nice. You can launch a node on strongblock.io. 10 strong equals 1 node. 0.1 per day. Rewards paid in strong. They're working with Matic now and FTM in the pipeline. I don't know about that, but I'm going to look it up now. I'm intrigued. I've never done anything like that. Personally, I haven't. So that's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. I'll bring on a taxi. I need to get Carlos on this week. And I think, Random Task was drunk, I think, when he was in the Stack Labs chat. But Random Task joined the Stack Labs chat, and I was like, you want to come on the stream? And he was like, yeah, dude, next week. Or soon. So hopefully we'll have Random Task on soon. That'd be fun. Random Task, one of those guys, one of the few guys that I respect from a TA perspective in this space. There's not a lot of them. Kaz is another one. So. $10 strong, 5K. So I'm a little bit weary about this breakout right now. So I'm a little bit wary on this breakout. I'm going to tell you why. And then I'm going to call it for the day. So we're right at this point, right? We're right at this breakout point. This is that line for the breakout. We're right at highs, right? Could be good, could be bad. But it's relative strength. We got some volume coming in. That's okay. And yeah, Kaz, like I say all the time, is the fucking nicest dude out there, and the last person you would ever expect to fucking try to do anything like, hey, I'm gonna do this, everybody's gonna pump it, right? So like, John, you're saying something that's nice. It just sounds like you're saying like he like tweets out NFTs and people pump it because he tweeted it. Like, he finds great projects and he's very responsible about what he will actually tweet out. He's not just like, hey, look at this causnft.eth address. You should send money there. Like, you know, he sends out good shit. That's a totally different thing. So we're right here at range high. Somebody just said that it wicked to 43.30 on Bitstamp, which is kind of crazy. Of course, dude. Guys, we wouldn't be boys if you weren't that way, man. And I'm sure you wouldn't talk to me if I was that way. So, you know. Game recognized game. So that's okay that we're at range highs here. What's making me nervous is this. This was a trend line breakout on the S&P 500 futures, and it's failing and falling back in. Okay, we are not that correlated to the S&P 500 futures, but if like this thing turns into a rug, we got 10 minutes to go before the close of the market. Okay, futures trade the whole time, but they generally don't like make major moves in off hours unless there's a reason to. So we rejected off this 50 MA, the mean reversion line on the S&P 500. We're selling back down. Ethereum is at range high right now. You know, if this thing rugs into the close, you're going to see crypto fall back. So, you know, you want to see a breakout of a DTL like this with some power. But as we say with everything, guys, and like this is, again, I should have to get all my shit on paper somewhere so I can just like, all right, let's play this clip. When you have a steep trend line, it's pretty hard to break it the first time through. You saw it here. It came up, broke through, broke down again, yada, yada. You wait to see the 50 start to slope up before moves can actually happen. So V recoveries sound super sexy, but they really don't happen, because when you see this actual change in the trend, like the 50 MA trend, that's not something that just, just rips right the hell through back to highs. It doesn't happen. It might have happened back in the day, but it doesn't happen anymore. All right. All right. Did I get everybody's questions? I'm a little tired. I want to go. I'll answer a few more if you have them, but. I think I got them all. I'm sorry if I didn't. If I did not get to your question, I feel bad about that. And here's what you can do. Click on that link. This is the link to the Stack Labs Telegram. I'm going to talk about it all the time because I want to find a bunch of people who want to do better, who want to get better, to come in and do it with us. Right now, we have less than 700 people in there. Okay? We have less than 700 people in there. If you tag me in the Stack Labs chat with a question, I will answer your question. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. While I can. Okay? If you were to look at the statistics on the membership of the Stack Labs chat, we are in price exploration. Okay? So, get in while you can would be my suggestion to you. So join the Stack Labs chat, ask whatever questions you want. Adasta said, what's the key level at the top end of Atom? Are you talking about like... Yeah, I mean, like, it has a parabolic flip line there too, so... Yeah, thanks, Only Bad Names, Arctic, N7, Adastra. Prosperity Telegram, not poverty, that's right. Yeah, so I mean, now we rejected 35 pretty hard, but it's going to be 42. So 20 to 40 would be the area that I would be interested on both sides of that, Adastra. So if we get 20 and it goes to 40, you see any weakness, I'd take some off. If you get to the parabolic flip line, I would take off more there. If it rejects. If not, then don't. Hey, look at that. Eats retracing. What do you know? You heard it here first, guys. It was 42.35 when I said that. $25 ago. Anyway, cheers, everybody. I appreciate the kind words. Thanks for all the new followers and the subs. We're up to 121 subs now. Very, very cool. Appreciate all you. As is our customary, I pause this and I do this for the outro. This is started from the bottom. Now we hear the instrumental.
5 to the 4
to the 3, 2, 1 word. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. Again, come to the Stack Labs Telegram. You can tag me. I'll answer your questions. There's a very limited amount of time. Well, I can still do that. Now is one of them. Yeah, go blue. Go blue. We got a month of go blueing. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Yes, the logo. Let's go. Nibbler, thanks. Nothing else. All right. I'll see you probably Wednesday, maybe Thursday.